Man, I'm here with the Don Daughters, man. I was so excited to have all these three minds put together simply because
it's gonna be a good one for sure.
Yeah, great one for sure.
That's the only thing that can come out of here, man. We've been chopping it up on me for about an hour already because you know, Sammy only had this shit ready. But Gunna,
talking about that
shout out my Uncle Gunna, man, for real, because this man, no, because bro, honestly, you really need those checks because, like you said, if you're trying to play at that level, you gotta really play at that level. It can't be whenever you want. And so,
what level? What we talking about?
I'm talking about the greatest, bro. I was talking with Gunna, man. We gonna bring something to the Bay, man. I'm gonna add to what you guys are already.
It's already here. We just gonna show the people we got it.
That's it.
Absolutely.
And one of the biggest
the whole
things,
West Coast. Remember?
Hold on, let's do an intro. You know, I'm C-Legal for the people. We got Stunnaman02. We got Gunna Goes Global. We got Neighborhood Heroes. Introduce yourself. Come on, man.
Yes, sir, man. Samuel for the people.
Come on, man.
I like that. We're gonna have a good conversation, man. How's everybody feeling first and foremost?
Amazing, bro. It's hot outside. I feel as hot as the weather. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely hot. It's definitely hot in our location. We don't give up the location, you know, because this is the Bay. So
come
we
on,
don't
man.
give up locations in the
man.
Bay.
In the Bay, we be like, come on.
I'm gonna keep it real. Hey, do y'all still back your cars in, like when y'all park places? Like
everywhere. It don't matter. I got a back camera now.
Is that an old head joke? I don't know.
I know. He's trying to get on you.
You don't know about backing your car in?
Tank top, he on your line.
Educational moment. When you from the streets, a lot of people back their cars in. So if anything happens, you can get in your car and go quick, rather than having to reverse and look around and do all that. So it's really some ghetto shit. You know what I'm saying? Now you know.
That's alert.
I've been doing that ever since I was 17 years old and I learned how to drive.
You know what I'm saying?
I knew how to back in before I knew to drive in.
You know what I'm saying?
I still be having trouble with
back in.
Nah, man. And one of the main topics we were just talking about is mental health. And that's something that everybody in this table can agree with.
Sammy Sosa, because he's making hits.
June
25th, definitely got a mental health event.
Facts. Be there, man.
Yeah. Where at?
Sean King.
Yep, Sean King. We're
Where's
going to be
this
there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we need you there, C-Lee.
Good.
Would you like to come?
See, every time I hear his name, because I love his work.
Yeah, you hear the other side of it. Yeah.
Come on. It's like...
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword because, you know, he has done a lot of good things, but, you know...
No. I know. I just want to only talk about the good things, but...
Yeah.
Y'all know what I want to say, but I don't want to say it. Should I just say it?
Yeah, say it. What?
Is he black?
Oh, okay. It's a Rachel D situation.
I get the black vibes. I know there's a lot of people who debate about it and stuff like that.
And I have no problem with Sean King when if he sees this, anybody saying this is no. But I just always think, but he does a lot of great work. So shout out to him.
At the end of the day, he's an ally. So
he does his thing.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why I defend him and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's great.
There's people that are overtly black that ain't doing nothing for him.
Of course. Yeah, I always ask that question, but he's great, so I don't want nobody to take from him.
We got to make sure y'all meet for sure.
Yeah, I would like to
meet.
Saturday, June 25th. You know what I'm saying?
So that's the move.
Yeah, but you said
we ain't gonna get too woke, Sammy. That was just a little woke stop. It was a woke pit stop.
Yeah, real quick.
Let's get back to the mental health though.
Come on,
I mean, it ties in together because that, you know, I think this is cool. Like we talk about it, but I think it's those steps that actually go into these events. That's really gonna change things. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's really important you guys bring that up. But yeah, no, you were talking about you hit a stage because everyone sees Stunnaman. He's about to perform at Summer Jam.
Come on, we lit. July 16th, man. Concord Pavilion, man. Me
be
and
there,
Larry
be
June,
square.
the first San Francisco artist, and I believe in 20 years to be there. P-Law as well as a Bay Area artist. We finna set the whole region on fire. Shout out everybody for booking me.
All right, let's get to the mental health part though, nigga. Come on.
No, but that's what I'm trying to say.
C-Lee hate when niggas plug themselves.
Man, let's get to the mental health part.
Oh yeah, so yeah, but you know I got my degree in psychology, neurological psychology. You feel me? I got a BS from St. Mary's because I can't speak this bullshit. But at the end of the day, when it come down to it, I got my first bout of depression in middle school, and having that made me always be fascinated with controlling the mind so it can influence the body and the soul. So, you know, we just did a mental health awareness tour for all the schools in San Francisco free. We hit about 5. We wanted in fall, we're going back and we hitting all the schools just in the whole West Coast. That's the goal. And, you know, just in mental health month, just prioritizing that and teaching kids in middle school and high school what mental health is, what emotional regulation is, what physical health is, because I know I didn't know at 12 and I was going through it.
What triggered your depression? Let's get into it.
I think it was I had severe chronic eczema. So, you know, my skin was terrible. So I'm already dark-skinned, so I'm getting dark-skinned jokes. Now I look like a monster. You look like an alligator. Then when you have eczema, severe eczema, that's why I always have a nice cologne on some deodorant because it does have a smell. So a nigga was stinking. It don't matter how much baths I take. I'll be working out, and then right after I work out, it would be the openness of my sores because I scratch so much. So my skin was bad. I'm talking about if you grew up with me, you from Fillmore, the point, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, it was depressing to go outside and coming of age and and you start liking girls, and the girls tell you look like a monster or you stink. So I locked in. I used to wear black every day, but then I was like, man, I'm not gonna let this control me. Start getting waves, start working out, start talking to myself positively. Got in that 100 point sun, which hit my skin and helped me stop drinking and eating bad foods and start drinking water. So slowly I transformed from being Jordan Gomes and having that, feel me, Stunnaman02 presence. And that's where it started too. First AIM name was Stunnaman02. Somebody just told me who I went to middle school with, they was like, man, you've been Stunnaman02 since middle school. I built up this persona who is this person that allowed me to be who I am now. You know what I'm saying?
That's big. That's definitely big. That's definitely big.
Now I look like Gunna Goes Global. I'm smooth and stuff. Now, eye patch.
Now, with Gunna, have you ever, experienced any type
this
of...
This nigga was in prison for 3 years.
Let's talk about that.
Have you ever experienced depression or any mental health episodes ever?
Early on, when my parents split, probably like 6 or 7, my mother got with a dude that made the house real chaotic. I went from a peaceful environment to a depressive environment. So I went from a great student to not wanting to go to school. I went from I would say a happy kid to peeing on myself, just like always in the house, which is why a huge part of who I am now is because I made up in my mind, like, all right, you're going to be stuck or you're going to turn into a bitch. And when I went from being super peaceful to the other side, that's why to this day, people would be like, nah, he's a cool person. I don't know how that...
Yeah, that's what I wanted to get into.
It's like, I remember being in a situation where I couldn't defend myself, but then it got to a point of like 7, 8, like, my nigga, it's going to be what it's going to be.
Hold on. Let's fast forward past 7, 8, because Gunna, I'm going to just keep it real. People from San Francisco know that Gunna is a somebody in Filmo. You're not just an onlooker. You was involved. You was engaged. You know what I'm saying? Like, so how did you go from Gunna being active in Filmo from 800 to now Gunna, the artist, the philanthropist, the community activist, the hell of a father? How did you go from that? What inspired that transition and what happened?
I'm going to be all the way honest with you, blood.
He met me
from the 2000s doing what we did, it made it to the point to where people who you would say were against it, I was always on the aggressor side. So be clear that it was never nobody looking for me. It was always, nah, bro, we don't got no problems. Nah, bro, it's not that. Come on, man. It's been like that from the beginning. So I would say as I matured, I got to the point to saying, like, why would I focus wasting my time on shit that's beneath me when I'm blocking my blessings? While I'm focused on negativity. Don't get me wrong. I'm no saint now. I'm not perfect. I don't portray to be. But I also said, let me show more positive. Let me show the other end of the spectrum, blood. Because behind everybody from every block, every hood, and every city, it's that wife that's going to tell you, well, this is who he is. It's those children going to tell you this is who he is. It's the friends and family. And oftentimes in the streets, we didn't have a social media platform to show who was before he got knocked down. It wasn't 1,000 people at his funeral because he sold dope to all of them and shot up all of them. It's because, he bought that bike for me. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
This person told me not to sell dope. So making that transition came from, I'm going to be honest, shout out to Millie. When it came time to protest, I've always strayed away from the cameras because of what you said. That street shit in San Francisco in the Bay Area, I'm like, nah, bro, it supersedes where I can go in this region. Outside of the region, I can do something. Millie hit us in the group chat, like, come down there to City Hall to protest, and I would say that's when things changed for me. That's when things changed for me. Before I had been speaking out on the internet, but actually being comfortable enough to get in front of a crowd and talk about the other end of me, man. I'm say shout out to Jamal True Love, us protesting, and then of course being in the last black man in San Francisco. They don't know me from a can of paint, so that platform was dope. So I'm going to shout out Stunnaman02. So between those two men, they both invited me into spaces that wasn't street.
Absolutely. Random, but lately what's been on my spirit is casting pearls among swine. I don't know why that's been a thing. And since we just talking about mental health and we just talking about, transitions, I want to ask everybody at the table, like, how do you feel about giving information to people who you feel like will not receive it? So if you're going to a school or if you're even one-on-one with a kid and he's just, I'm in the streets, I got the strap, I'm on whatever, I hear you, but I'm doing this. What do you say to somebody like that? Or just even if we're not talking about street shit, if you're just trying to give some valuable information, whether it be about spending or just business or the industry, how do you guys go about that when you have information that can be helpful, but this person isn't listening?
I'm going to go with the streets. You go with the knucklehead. You go with the financial advice that you give to your thing.
So I read this book called The Go-Giver. The whole point of The Go-Giver is that everybody and people are seeking this knowledge, but are they ready for it? The whole point of it, the main character in The Go-Giver, is he seeks this guru who knows all of this stuff, but he says, I'm going to give you this knowledge for free, but you have to apply it as soon as I give it to you. And when I give it to you, you have to teach somebody else. So basically, with certain people, a lot of people, it's not that they don't need the knowledge, they're not ready to receive it. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to a situation with that, it's basically the go-giver says, give the knowledge to the people who are ready to receive it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, so, I mean, I think that's simplified enough for her. So, you know, I'm going to leave it there.
Let's get to the street shit.
With the streets, I always plant seeds, and I've been planting seeds probably since I was 11 or 12. Anybody tell you that's why they thought, oh, you may end up being a preacher, and no telling where it's going to end, a motivational speaker. So I speak the language. I never come with, I'm here to teach you. It ain't never none of that. I'm going to get on your level. My nigga, what's really going on with you? How you feeling, blood? What your pockets looking like? We gonna relate first. Yeah. So usually it's through some type of trauma or wanting to shine, because that killer, that shooter, that robber, that dope dealer wasn't born that. That's what you evolve to in your environment to adapt. And when you get past that layer, that's when you're able to say, hey, despite our environment, my nigga, we bigger than our circumstances. Right. I could use myself as an example, but I tend to point at other artists or entertainers or just dudes who was able to make that transition. Maybe they got a trucking company or something. It got to be tangible. So often they try to tell you, go to college. Bro, why are you telling me to go to college, my nigga, when I'm worried about survival right now? It has to be something tangible that they into. So if you know he can cook, if you know he's an athlete, all right, hey, bro, think about some gym membership. And now that we got the internet, you can make money off your likeness as long as you figure out a way how to get that product or service to people. Absolutely. Right now, he might got the best Kool-Aid in the neighborhood, but before, I can't do hand-to-hand transaction. Nick, come knock me down.
Absolutely.
Hey, bro, how the woman that you're dealing with or your cousins or your kids do it, and that's what they doing. So that's how I give information. Of course, on social media, whether it get 1 view, whether it get 1 million views, they're going to receive it. But I do not talk to people who telling me, I don't listen and I don't give a fuck. And if you already got the energy, my nigga, I'm not converting a soul.
Yeah. So, Sammy, before I answer, I want to ask you the same question. How do you feel about casting pros among swine? And whether you're at work, whether you're with family, how do you go about that?
Well, I don't know. I think it goes with the saying of you can lead the horse to the water, but you can't make him drink it, right?
That's true.
Because, for example, I think like certain books, bro, I have them laying around on a table, and it's not until that one thing happened in my life that I'm going to actually go pick up that fucking book.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? Other than that shit could look at me in my face, but if I'm not really feeling it, it ain't gonna hit me.
You damn near gotta force yourself to go get the knowledge.
Right, exactly.
You gotta make yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Before you get into a Sealy, but that's what W.E.B. Du Bois was talking about. He was talking about the 10%er. So you got a huge part of the population who believes that there's people who are destined to have the conversations that we having, and then the ones who are destined to be the outsiders and
absolutely.
Workers.
When it comes to finances, one thing I've learned. A lot of people's spending habits, or a lot of people who don't have much money, their spending habits come from an emotional place, trying to spend to make themselves feel better, to compensate for something that's lacking. Thanks. So, one thing I suggest is therapy. Hey, you go get some help. But when they can't afford it or when that's not an option, the best therapy you can give to somebody is no. When it comes to money, the best advice, the best help you can give is no. No, I cannot help you. No, I cannot give you no loan. No, I cannot bail you out of this situation. No, because as long as they have that safety net, changes aren't going to be made. Sometimes you have to let somebody hit rock bottom in order to help. You're not doing nobody those favors by constantly saving them. So sometimes the best help is a big old no when it comes to some money, for sure. No, whether it be your kids, your grandma, your mama, your uncle, your auntie. No, you know what I'm saying? No. So that's the best advice is no. No goes a long way.
Okay.
No means a lot.
So how do you help people who want to skip? How do you help people who want to skip the stairs and take the elevator and be where you at this very moment? The people who think I could become who Sealy is, give me the blueprint and the ingredients. How do you deal with that?
A no works too. You know what I'm saying? Because when I say no, is because we like to think the put me on attitude. Put me on. Yeah. Put-ons don't necessarily work because you have to learn the process, because you're going to need these tools in this process to deal when you get to this point. For example, in this entertainment industry, you're going to have to learn how to talk to different people because everybody's not from the streets. Everybody not from Fillmore. Everybody not from Hunters Point. So you're going to have to learn to speak a different language. You can't just be talking, what's up, my nigga? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's not going to work. You're going to talk yourself out of some money doing that. So therefore, you need to learn that on your come-up process, because I can't just bring you in this meeting and you acting a goddamn fool. You're going to mess up relationships for both of us, and this is an industry based on relationships.
This doesn't
all the people who think a feature from you is going to turn them all the way up. How do you deal with that?
piggyback on what you saying, you don't have to compromise your vernacular, but you do have to be able to speak in a certain way. You have to be
of course. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just piggybacking on you.
Oh, yeah.
And then with that, I talk to people. So I did a thing where in May or April, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give everybody $500 features. I'm gonna have a certain amount of slots of people who do it. But I sent them a contract and I said, in this contract, you have to promote the song for a minimum 30 days. I took personal conversations with everybody who paid for a feature, and I said, look, you need to utilize your social media, because even though, you getting a feature for me, this is a potential for the song to go up for me as well. If you push this the right way, a whole bunch of people got hits, but the difference between somebody who got a song that went up and didn't is marketing. And you push the song to its potential.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? If they used to give songs 6 months.
180 days.
Man.
You know bare minimum.
And now people don't push their song for a week. Nah. You know what I'm saying? 30
Absolutely.
days could change your life. I'm a testament of it. You know
Speaking of, let me reply to that.
Yeah.
Going back to my no conversation. Just because Stunnaman says no to a feature doesn't mean I don't like you. Exactly. It doesn't mean I don't fuck with you. Don't mean we cool. I just said no because this may not be fitting for me at the time. So when somebody says no, you have no right to react like, oh, you on some weird shit. Oh, that nigga playing politics. Oh, he think he Hollywood. Hollywood now. He think he too big. Nigga get a song. I just said no, and we have to be able to accept the no. Understand that the no, people have their own lives, own businesses, own plans, and if you don't fit, it's okay for somebody to say no.
Every no is an opportunity or a motivation to go be better than you are right now.
Absolutely.
You want to hear a no because that lets you know, oh, I got to take this to the next level.
And for everybody watching this, don't internalize it. If Seeley has a schedule, Stunna has a schedule, I have a schedule, this young man has a schedule in 24 hours. Do you think out of nowhere they're supposed to just squeeze you in, fit you in?
Exactly.
That ain't how it go, because some people schedules go out weeks and even months in advance.
Exactly.
So when y'all doing that, ain't nobody acting funny, bro. People got their personal life, people got their business, people got their friends, and they still got to sleep and they still got to decompress.
Speaking of personal life, can we get into it? Because in this shit, you have to put your smile on. You can be depressed.
Man.
Your anxiety can be tripping.
Facts.
You can be sick, and you got to,
Bro, that was me last week.
Motherfuckers are humans.
I was fighting a bout of depression, man, because I had prioritized what everybody else wanted to be doing. So instead of taking my personal days to make sure, you feel me, I relax my body, relax my mind, meditate, I'm up and moving for everybody else. So I skipped my 2 personal days I was supposed to have, and next thing you know, by Monday or Tuesday, I was like, damn, I'm on day 365, a big step, and we supposed to be celebrating. And I'm like, damn, why do I feel drained? Why don't I feel like myself? I slipped into some depression. Of course, I had the right people around me, family, friends, you know what I'm saying? My team helped pull me out, but it was up to me to pull myself out and be like, you know what? I got to prioritize this for myself.
Bro, I battle anxiety real bad, and I slip into depression very easily. Man. And when I'm in that space, I can't create. I can't post any content because I'm not being creative. The only thing I can do is just express how I'm feeling, and not everybody always understand it because they're like, damn, you see legal for the people.
Man, you're supposed to be, everything's supposed to always be on point.
It's like, nah, man, I go through things too, and if I don't prioritize myself, I can't create. So what I've been doing as of lately is me first. My health first, my personal time first, my traveling first, me first. Fuck everything.
You the most important thing to you.
Exactly. And that's not selfish to do.
Nah.
That's not it's me. Me.
Self-care is essential. Your spirituality, finding things that make you happy. For a fact, music and exercise are 2 things that are, if you take those out of my life, I don't care how much money I have, I don't care how well groomed I am, how dressed, don't matter. I'm not going to be happy. Like I wake up, I feel sick throughout the day. I just never peak, and happiness is just never there. But once I exercise, I get in that studio and release these things, I feel great.
The
and
first thing
find
I do
those things, my bad. Find those things that make you happy. If it's one thing, I always remember the 3 things that make me happy. So find that. It's music, it's prayer.
Oh,
and then exercise.
Oh, prayer is one of them
I'm about to tell you my equilibrium. My equilibrium normalization is mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, psychological, financial, and moral. So you feel me? You got to have your moral compass. You got to have your money right, but your mental got to be right. Your mental is different than your psychological. Mental is enhancing your education and your intelligence. Psychological is dealing with your mental health. You know what I'm saying? Emotional regulation. You got to make sure, like C-Lee said, you can't blow up on the wrong person. You messing up opportunities. Every time you get mad don't mean you need a reaction. Physical, that's working out like Gunna said. You know what I'm saying? So, and spiritual, of course, that's staying prayed up. Whether you praying 1 time a day or 5 times a day, you know, you got to pray like God is the only person that can make it happen, and then work like you the only person that can put it together.
Absolutely, that's real. That's definitely real.
Where your questions at? Hold on, my nigga. We gonna keep
soaking it
up. I know you soaking it up, but shit.
Yeah, I got a whole lot of people to talk.
Thank y'all for sharing that, because I know, you know, we being very vulnerable right now.
No, bro, that's the number one thing that's coming to my mind. And I think to like sum it all up, bro, I think there comes that number one question, and I don't think there's only one answer to it, is what does a solid man look like? Because a lot of people,
a nigga with the bitches. No, I'm just playing.
But that's what I'm saying. Like a lot
of
it's a joke. A lot of, you know, like where we come from, you know, we may not have that solid father figure. You know, like a certain percentage. One thing. Okay, let me tie it back together. One thing that I've really been asking myself is, these stats, right? These businesses, what they really value is data, right? Yeah. That's what they value. A lot of businesses, they'll literally pay so much money just on data so they can know how to work with it. Yeah. So these people know the households, these schools know these households, you know, and what's going on, but they're not offering no classes to teach them what anger is. They're not offering no classes to teach them what emotion is. None of this thing, what a man is. None of that. So where are they going to learn it?
I'm going to answer your question, and I learned this from a pimp. I learned this from a pimp, and I ain't going to never forget it. He said the definition of a man is the truth. That is what a man is, the truth. As a man, living your truth, being the truth, being honest to yourself and those around you. That is what a man is, meaning wherever you lack, wherever you strong at is being the best definition of the truth. And that makes so much goddamn sense, because a man is not a liar. Yeah. A man is not deceptive. A man is the truth. This is who I am. I am who I am because I am. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what a man is, the definition of the truth.
It's crazy you say that, because constant books like The Superior Man constantly tell you that a man is supposed to be who he is, and everything else in life, people are supposed to test him who he is. The feminine energy is also always meant to test who you are. Are you, a whole woman's purpose is to be great, but it's to test and say, are you who you say you are? You know what I'm saying?
I would sum it up in one word: honorable. And then, of course, it would break off from that. It's not it's not about money, even though that's cool. It's not about muscles, even though it's cool. Are you taking care of your family? You understand what I'm saying? Go back to what he's saying. Are you a man who can be trusted? Are you a man that knows how to lead? Do you know how to follow? Do you know how to do all of these things? And I like to use sports. You may be the GM, you may be the owner, you may be the coach, you may be the water boy, you may be a quarterback, whatever it is on the field. As a man, your position is going to fluctuate, because born a baby, you're not the owner of the team. Absolutely. But by the time you come of age, you will be the owner of your team. You will be the king of that kingdom. But before that, you're a prince, and before that, you might be a servant or a peasant. So it's going to fluctuate, but make sure that integrity is involved. Make sure that moral is involved, because I've seen so many men slip out of their greatness by being deceitful. And I'm not talking about the law, bro. I'm talking about universal law. You know what's going on out here. You get what I'm saying? And y'all got to be able to know when you being persuaded towards somebody who has went to a more wicked side. You got to know the difference between righteousness and wickedness. And I'm not talking about...
Speaking of honor and speaking of teamwork, let's talk music business, because I haven't talked to y'all on camera in a while, because a lot of y'all don't know we had a podcast back in the day, and we used to talk about a lot of different things. But one thing I've noticed is...
it's toilet water. I don't think you want. Now I'm just playing. This is good water. Now I'm just playing. This is a joke.
Where you get this water from?
I don't know.
It's Molly water.
But I got a filter.
It's Molly water.
No, it's filtered toilet water. Cheers.
Yeah.
That's gonna be that's why I said it.
So look. I haven't said this on camera, but I'm gonna say this to y'all face.
Tastes like a toilet.
Before Big Steppin', before you had Summer Jam and all that going on, y'all were moving as a unit.
Yes.
And during your Big Steppin' run, I've seen you do nothing but support Stunnaman, but also Ace, who's been there from the beginning.
Shout out Ace right there.
You know what I'm saying?
Hurry up, Ace, real quick. Cameo, bro, Ace, I don't want to hear nothing about all of that other shit.
Hop on, Ace. Ace got a do-rag and braids and all that shit. Look at him, looking like that. Candy and love don't cost a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Let me know how you just got fresh real quick. Hold on.
I gotta say this stuff. Oh, wave check, brave check. Look at him.
Yo, hell, blood. Yo, hell.
He outside during this run.
We outside.
Y'all been 110% supportive of Stunnaman, being his hype man, Ace handling the business, being 100% supportive.
Everybody else easily, the whole team.
Easily, you could have been like, you know what, I'm focused on my own thing. You could have easily took that approach because he's been promoting this record for a year. A year's a long time to kind of be like, look, I'm gonna take a back seat and I'm gonna let you do your thing, and we're gonna support you. That's a long time. That's very uncommon for somebody to take a back seat to somebody else for a year while we look. This is what we doing. This is what we doing right now, and I'm gonna play second fiddle to you. What made you do that? And then I want you to answer Stunnaman and like, did you ask for this or did it just happen? That's what
I can be genuine and say from the very beginning of this situation, he reached out to me on some humble type. Gunna, are you interested in being in the movie? He didn't know what was going on in my life at the time. He didn't understand how much I appreciated it because even though I was rebranding as an artist, not to get away from the streets, but I'm like, all right, I got to change my name because another artist is blown up with that. I got to start from scratch.
Because you was Gunna before Gunna. That's a fact. That's a fact.
And Ace and a lot of other people felt some type of way about it because we had already done that from Gunna. And what people don't understand is to this date, it never was able to.
Hold on. You got to educate the people. So you went from Gunna to Gunna
to Gunna Goes Global. So to go to Gunna Goes Global is to start everything from scratch, bro. A lot of them people got left in that MySpace era. So when I went by Gunna, they didn't know who I was.
And you were big on MySpace.
For sure.
I remember that. You were
huge. Lit, on fire, everything you can think of, something I'm going to talk about in a documentary that we working on. I'm going to go into all of that once it matters. When Stunna reached out to me, it touched me, bro, because it was one of the first times that I felt like someone was paying homage in a paying homage. It takes a lot of humility for a man to do that.
Side note, we don't get a lot of opportunities. So somebody calling you for an opportunity that big, that's a thing.
There's like, so many artists that's lit from San Francisco to Oakland to Richmond to Vallejo to Sacramento that I didn't help, that I've been in the studio with, my nigga. I'm talking about every time them niggas get in position, my nigga, they did weird shit. I don't even mention their names. This young man, he didn't know me from a can of paint. It's 1,000 people he could have mentioned. He said, if y'all gonna do a movie about San Francisco, make sure Gunna involved. When he did that and we were in the movie, we had no expectations. I thought it was gonna be like JT the Bigger Figure, Beware of Those. So I had no expectations. I was just appreciative that he would include me. But when I seen the grandeur of it, it was like, you know what? That was anything that I know, anybody that I know, anything that I can do, I'm gonna help you. You feel what I'm saying?
That's real.
And it's a brethren type situation. So when Big Steppin' came about, he already had I Gotta Feel It, which is a project he had with a producer. I had 21 Summers that I was working on, and then we had Feel More. Why in my right mind, if I proclaim to be an honorable person, would I not take a back seat or play second fiddle or whatever the term is for somebody that I believe in, somebody that I'm rocking with, somebody I done traveled the world with, and somebody that I done broke bread with? Because him shining don't dim my light. I seen Tupac with a Digital Underground. We know how that ended up. You understand what I'm saying? We seen Jay-Z was with Jazzo. That don't bother me because what's meant for me and the way the sun shine on me, he ain't never threw shade on it. In fact, he's always said, hey, son, can you shine a little brighter for Gunna? So I appreciated it, you know, and me and Ace met on that. Ace was like, bro, I grew up on MySpace, woo this, how can I help? I met him from that day forward, my nigga, we've been building, we've been mobbing. So when we all got together, it's one more other person that was in the mix, I would say Millie, and I mentioned him because his energy, even though he's not here, during that movie, it was a lot of, like, we were just able to mob together, blood. The shit that we had in common.
And
we was able to sharpen each other. So when Big Steppin' took off, I looked at it as an extension of me, and I still do, blood, because when I see him shine.
That's real.
High nigga, but
that's real.
Before he get into it,
though. I hope you know that. That's
for sure.
Very
before
rare.
he get into it, and it's rare because that's why all of these movements, all these record labels, all these potential coulda, shoulda, woulda, they all self-implode before they can go to the top because it's somebody that can't get out the way and don't realize, my nigga, for every ring that Curry won, Clay did too. So did Draymond, and so did Iggy.
Andre Iguodala literally said, "I'm only playing to protect Steph's legacy." That's a quote from him. I'm only playing to. He could have retired many years ago. He said, "I'm only playing to protect Steph's legacy."
And it's an appreciation thing too. Yeah, you don't think it's humbling? Right. It's easy for me to do it because I come from rapping next to Dip. Do I feel I'm the greatest at what I do? For sure. But him taking up, I think it's beautiful. I know it's beautiful.
Absolutely.
And we're going to continue to do what needs to be done. But any man that's in this position, bro, stop hating on your cousin, your brother, your business partner, your wife, your significant other. Stop seeing people get popping and then all of a sudden, man, y'all know all the weird stuff y'all be doing, blood. Stop doing that, man, because you blocking your blessings, man. That ain't where it's at.
Now, Stunnaman, obviously we know you did the big step and you did the promo, but I want to talk about how did your team play a part in this process?
Huge shout out to the team, man. Shout out to Ace, shout out to Gunna. Feel me? We incorporated them into still winning because it's a no-brainer. You feel me? Because when you got multiple stars around you, what you gonna do? You can shine by yourself, but you got multiple stars with you. You can make a constellation that's gonna shine way brighter in this universe. So, feel me? Shout out Depp, stepping up, becoming management. Shout out Big Oss for working behind the scenes, helping with merchandise. Shout out AB for all the talents he got, Swiss Army Knife. Shout out DB. Shout out Simi, for me. Shout out LS, the Juice Man. Shout out Brian, for me, helping manage the social media and our interactions outside. You know what I'm saying? Who else we got on the team? I'm forgetting anybody?
All right, nigga, you're not finna be politically correct. Come on, man.
DB. I shout out DB. Oh, yeah.
Kyle Jesus,
the still winning cameraman. Shout out to people that was with us from the beginning that may not be here.
Because I've been knowing you for a quick minute, not as long as some of your friends and shit like that. And I'm seeing how, I'm going to just keep it real. It's not changing you, but it got you moving different.
Yeah.
Because you are a very fun, open, loving, accepting to everybody.
It's like, why? Why when we're being transparent? You know what I'm saying?
Seeing dope people too, to be honest with you, bro.
We got to cut that part too. We got to cut that part. We're cutting that part.
All right,
okay. In a room full of 10 people, it seems like we'll gravitate towards that one person that's super dope.
Yeah.
And that's been the saving grace, man. It's these random organic conversations.
Facts.
Them is the people that's making stuff shake, bro. It don't be the stereotype that you think. It be that conversation. I'm gonna give you an example. Yesterday, just happened to be in a location. Next thing you know, this person is a such and such alumni,
and that same high school I went to,
and that person happens to be in charge of all of the operations when it comes to a major sports team. Like, it be like that. Or I'll meet a person randomly. I go to volunteer to help these kids with this mental health situation, and then the next thing you know, this person was running the whole West Coast club situation. It's like, oh, I'm going to put you on the platform with Sean King, and just, bro, all of it just be organically unorthodox. Real. That's what I done learned in the industry,
at the end of the day, regardless of what's happening on this side, the thing that I'm happy that I came in with and that we build with the team is a still winning mindset. To be positive and keep pushing in. And even though people might treat you a certain way, not to go to that vibration, to be in a vibration where you still treating people cordially with respect, because you don't know who you're going to shake hands with. You know what I'm saying?
That's real. Yeah. Hey, this is a random question because I get these all the time. Are y'all doing free work when people are like saying it's for the community?
Yeah, it's relationship based. You know what I'm saying?
Because I've learned sometimes people try to take advantage of that. Hey, can you come do this for this?
You can't
do this for this because we are at a place now where we're businesses, we're entities. And our time is literally currency.
And we understand.
So how do we separate what we're doing for free for our people? And it's like, yeah, I want to help, but I need compensation.
I was on a Zoom call Wednesday. Woman in San Francisco. I know the budget here is big. I had to tell her, I respect what you got going on. You're going to have to holler at me in a budget because you're not going to allot hundreds of $millions for law enforcement, $50 million for people to go around and clean the streets. But then when it comes to actually be able to help the youth, you don't got it. No, we need to be overcompensated because a lot of the programs, and this is for everybody out there, city to city, the programs that y'all have, if y'all want the relatability and you want it to resonate with the youth that you guys say you want to help, you need to have those 7- and 8-figure budgets to be able to allot an artist or artists, a multitude. I don't care if we in San Francisco, Oakland, Richmond, Antioch. Y'all need to be able to say, here goes $50,000 for you, $50,000 for you, $100,000 for you, $50,000 for you. And what are you going to do with that? Make organic posts to reach and let them know we at this rec center, we at this museum, we here because y'all got the money. We're not watching y'all commercials. They don't watch TV. The billboards is not helping because y'all got people on the billboards that they can't relate to. Right. Y'all need to hit the artists, the entertainers, the influencers, and the athletes that are from these cities or in these cities so that the dollar that these taxpayers are paying can go further. That's what y'all need to do. Y'all need to upgrade what's going on. So for me, you got to pay. And if I know you, it's a whole different vibration. But if y'all city folks, man, come on, man, pay us the right way, man, because y'all getting paid.
Then on the other side of it, Tupac was big on advocating, I don't charge my people. It's certain relationships that we have with people where it's like, okay, like, for example, when we go to these schools, we're saying, if anything at most, just make sure the sound system is right. So we can come here and impact the kids because, like we were saying earlier, I was that 11, 12, 13-year-old kid who didn't know about mental health and didn't know about emotional regulation. So that is important. And beyond that, these nonprofits, not all of them, you know, we're not going to throw anybody under the bus, anything like that. But we know that nonprofits do have an allotted budget that they have to spend. And as when it comes to entertainment, you know, don't allow the entertainment to be cut short, like Gunna just said so illustriously. So, you know, it's relationship based.
So since we talking about, you know, popping out on kids and shit like that, let's talk about something we talked about off camera, accessibility.
Facts.
How important is accessibility, or what does that mean when it comes to the entertainment industry? For people who don't know, for somebody, Sam, who's new to this space, educate him on accessibility, what the gifts and the curse of it and how you should move as now an influencer or an artist or somebody that's important.
Well, I had this great mentor. He has a dope, if you got time throughout the week, go on his Instagram, is the C-Lee brand, you know what I'm saying? Go on his live and watch it, please, because I've learned so much from this person about accessibility. He's also on Thizzler, you know what I'm saying, throughout the week as well. Go on that live. But he broke it down to me and sat down with me because me and Gunna, we like to be outside, you know what I'm saying? I grew up throwing parties, you know what I'm saying? I like to be outside. And he said, Stunna, you know what I'm saying, you can't be too accessible because then your value goes down. Doesn't mean you're not a valuable person, but people start to value you less when they say, oh, Stunna's going to be here anyways, let's not book him. You know what I'm saying? Gunna's going to be here anyways, let's not book him. And we see that sometimes. I done got DMs where it's like, oh, man, we throwing this event. We're going to give you a table and a couple bottles. Just come pop out. Versus not going out for 3 months. Like when Big Steppin' started popping, had a conversation with C-Lee. This is a real situation. I didn't go out for about 3 months. I didn't go to no events. And I was like, y'all, let's just chill. Gunna was popping out, still working records and stuff like that. So I appreciate you, Gunna, for taking that load at that time. Gunna, Ace, and the rest of the team. But I was chilling. I was like, I'm not going out. As soon as that happened, bruh, people was like, man, we need you to come out. Here, we're going to give you this. We're going to give you that. And the bookings did not stop. And because we wasn't out while the song was hot and while the song was gaining fire, it's like nobody saw me perform it. And then out of nowhere, it's like, oh, yeah, we need you to perform it. So now I was lit. So accessibility is key. And to give a definition to it, accessibility is the amount that you are able to give yourself to people. How much access people have to you. You know what I'm saying? I talk to it about even with women. Women desire you more when they can't get you. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
So, you know.
Why you think they like people? Yeah.
That's a real. Yeah, sure. That was a real. Whoa, that was, whoa, man, that was a real.
Yeah.
Oh, he was on fire.
Yeah. I would say for sure when it comes to accessibility, just knowing thyself. Thanks. So if you know that you're an introvert, you may do better with utilizing social media. If you know you're an extrovert, you may need that energy, and that currency may need what you need. It may be what you need to take it to the next level. So it does fluctuate. I'm not finna be in the same club every week. I'm not finna be in the same bar every week. I'm gonna chill with my family and friends, but when it comes to this, you don't want to become watered down. You don't want to frequent the same places over and over. And then you don't want people to be able to minimize your value. They'll try to say that, oh, that's just such and such. No, every time you see Snoop Dogg, it's Snoop Dogg. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Because he's bringing something to the table. So also knowing your worth and then not allowing people who have the money to lowball you. If you feel like you worth 5 bands, you should probably be asking for 6 or 7. You feel me? So even then you're gonna get at that 55 mark, and that's just a number that I'm putting out there. But accessibility, don't let, and also entitlement. Don't let people trick you into believing that you got to be at every birthday party, every family gathering, every event, every this, every that, because they are living a 9-to-5 lifestyle, which means Monday through Friday, they know what it is, and then Friday and Saturday, but they don't know you up before the sun come out, You up after the sun go down. And nah, bro, it ain't that. I'm not missing your event because I don't want to be there. It's just that sometimes I need that I need time for me. And I do got to prioritize this money. It's a 6-figure situation over here. You're right. I'm getting on the plane to go to Atlanta over being with you. When I come back, we can go have a private birthday party or a private dinner or whatever and bust down. But you got to be around people that love you, care about you, and understand at this very moment what's going on so that you can better utilize it.
And I think you brought something, you mentioned something that was very important, meaning a 9-to-5 job. We don't have 9-to-5 jobs, meaning our next dollar is not necessarily guaranteed, and we don't know where our next booking is coming from. Therefore, we have to move very strategically. But outside of that, what we do with our money is important now too, because it's not guaranteed to come back, meaning we have to reinvest into our brands. Constantly. We have to travel. We have to make sure we're groomed, that we
pay taxes.
Pay taxes. We got to make sure we got the right clothes. We got to make sure we booking hotel rooms and shit like that when we travel and flights and shit like that, making sure the team is paid. So these things really, really matter. And the conversation I want to get into is building out. It's important that as an entertainer, as an influencer, once you get popping here, once you get something going here, now you have to build out. You have to show your supporters, the people that follow you, progression. You have to. You may have to go to a different city, a different state. You might even have to go to a different country and start building relationships there, creating content and expanding your brand out. Everybody does this, and nobody is above this process. So what I like to tell everybody, and this is for myself, the more success you have, the harder it get, the more expensive it get. It don't get cheaper. Because now you have to go bigger. You have to go better. You have to take more risk. You know, you have to start building other things within your brand. You might get your merch popping. You might have to go get your events popping. You might have to go get a variety of different things moving. That's coming out your pocket, not a 9-to-5 guaranteed check pocket. So I think that's important to know when building an actual brand, because the reality of it is you can fall off. If you don't build out, if you don't invest in your brand, you are going to fall off. It's not a if, it's a when. You're going to fall off. You're going to be broke. And these same people that wanted you to come to the event, do all this free shit, are now going to call you a fuck up, a fall off. That's exactly what they're going to do. So you have to move strategically and invest in your brand. And that costs money. And everybody who deals with you has to understand that. If not, then they are not worth your time.
I think you just said that so beautifully. That's a reel right there. We got to make that into a reel. But the next step after understanding the accessibility is traveling and figuring out how do you do what you did in your respective area where you do get hotter popping and do that in other places. I think the best thing for us after under accessibility is right after that, we went on a promo run. We went to Arizona, LA, and Vegas. Then now we just got a beautiful call. Shout out to Uncle E40, you feel me? Houston is tapping in like, hey, who is Stunnaman and how can we get him out here, or how can we get this music out here? Tapping in saying, Bun B hitting us like, hey, who is Stunnaman? Who is Gunna Goes Global? And hey, man, what is this? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's the next step. That's two people.
Shout out to Will.
Shout out to Will. Shout out to E40. Shout out to Big Head. Shout out to Bun B. Shout out to everybody in Houston that been playing the music nonstop.
That's real.
Now we hearing this. Now it's up to us to say, okay, let's go make our move.
That's why it's so beautiful the way y'all move just as men. Fuck the rap shit, because like if something don't go Stunnaman way, if something don't go Gunna way, or if they feel a way about somebody, or if they have an opinion on something that may even be, you know, that may be deemed not disrespectful. Yeah. Like, y'all gonna make sure y'all control yourselves and not say shit. The reason why I say that, you know how many people back in the days used to be like, E40 ain't put nobody from the Bay on? That old bullshit ass argument. And I don't like that argument when we start blaming people for what they didn't do. When this person, for one, is not obligated to help anybody, not and has done so much for so many people. Like, I don't like when I see that so often from us as a people, just blaming others for why we don't have the success we desire.
Let me speak on that. Being in the 2000s, what happened, Dre came with This Nation, and people don't understand E40 came with Sick With It. So it's not a lot of historical content. It's not put into context. You feel me?
Absolutely.
So when E40 was at his peak, but people didn't realize he was on a platform in the Bay Area that still wasn't where he was even in position. You got to remember, it wasn't really until Too Short, Lil Jon and the East Side Boys, and of course E40, Lil Jon and the East Side Boys hooked up to where things was. I feel like he was even in that position, even though, bro, he been raw, been on Tupac albums and all that stuff. Dre was different, and there's some people who Dre came with that mind frame to put the whole world on. That's not Nas, who did Nas put on? You gonna tell me he not a GOAT? Yeah, you got Braveheart, you got Jungle on them. Jay-Z got Rihanna and Kanye West. But when you go to E40, I feel like people got to look at, have you ever had a conversation with this man? And if he's in control of all 7.5 million people putting them on, how many people a day do you think are tapping in with E40 since 1985, my nigga, to be put on?
Exactly. Like,
how many people? And he's on every rapper that ever blew up in the Bay has a feature from E40.
Exactly.
Man, literally.
Exactly.
Even Kendrick Lamar said, bro, I grew up slapping E40. Big timing with the homies.
You feel me? Exactly. Like, and I just, that's why I like how y'all move as men, because y'all just y'all don't react like that. I'm sure it's people within the industry y'all don't necessarily care for, but just y'all move with so much integrity. It's good for business. And I'm only pointing this out because I want more artists to do this. Yeah. This is the only reason why I'm even bringing up this conversation. When things don't go your way, or when you feel like you deserve something, don't react. Just keep working.
Especially publicly, man.
Just keep working.
We ain't blind. I ain't blind. We talk about the slights. We talk about, like, especially me coming from where I came from. And I have a chip on my shoulder. And my chip is not I'm against you. It's I ain't forgot how people treated me when I fell down. I ain't forgot about none of the people I influenced, none of the people I helped that I feel like fronted on me. And the reason why we do a lot of the stuff that we do is because you kill him with success. He likes to kill him with kindness. That's what he always say to them. Hey, bro, we gonna kill him with kindness. Me, I'm more like, a diamond plaque is gonna shut your bitch ass up. You feel me? A platinum plaque. You feel me? A gold plaque. You feel me? And that competitiveness in me, and I care so much about the Bay culture, blood, that I'm willing to put a lot of my differences to the side, speaking out against people, because that's only gonna create a rift. Like, let's focus on getting to the top of this shit.
Because like you say, it's really about the West Coast. And if we start talking about division and all this other stuff, that petty stuff, man, that don't mean nothing in the grand scheme of things. Right. Because the reason why the South is lit is because it's the South.
Come on, man.
The reason why the Midwest is lit is because it's the Midwest. The reason why the East Coast is lit, it's the East Coast. Right. The reason why the Bay is dope, but we ain't even reached our full potential, because it's always just the Bay. Right. Bro, we the whole West Coast. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, I'm happy you said kindness and not niceness, because kindness is different than being nice. The root word of nice is ignorant. We not ignorant to none of the shit that's going on, but we're just not going to give it any energy, because that same energy I would give to dealing with whatever you got going on to try to pull me down or act petty is energy I could be giving to myself to record another song, to be working out, to write another script, to be doing something, hanging out with C. Lee.
Now we finna get deep. Come on. So now, and we finna be transparent and real.
Come on.
Big Steppin' is a big record.
Yeah.
Millions of streams. Everybody's doing the dance. Everybody named Mama. Warriors, Niners. It's a big record. Now, is it difficult? Is it harder now that you had success?
Man, I'm gonna keep it real.
The record's still being worked.
It's still being worked.
It's still growing. It was more affirmative. There was one of them things where, like, we was talking about it off camera. Gunna, we was in New Orleans, and Gunna did these monkey bars. It was like 15 monkey bars you had to climb across. But we was looking at it like, damn, I don't know if we could do it. My young homie from New Orleans tried to do it, and he didn't do it. Then Gunna said, this easy. He went and did it. Now I'm like, oh, I could do it. And then everybody we was with went and did it. Now that we've done it, we got the formula. We was doing this with no formula. Now I was like, oh, all I got to do is take my platform and push it X amount of days. So within that, I started recording more than I ever recorded in my life. Not trying to chase that record, but saying, long as I'm in my flow, I'm going to make something good. Everybody not going to like my music. C. Lee, you done spoke up and said, oh, I don't like this song. That shit trash.
Absolutely.
It might not be your taste, but that don't mean, one, we ain't got another big step in, which we pushing right now. Everybody going to stream. We outside right now off of It's Big with Drew Banger. But beyond that, it's just like you get a lot more confident. And you get a lot more confidence to not only step out your comfort zone, but also know, oh, I got the formula to make this work. I know the BPM. I know how to structure the song. I know how to push it. I know who to push it to. And I know, okay, I could put this around it to give it some publicity. So now with the formula, it just make you more confident.
I'm going to ask you a different question, too, because I want to get back to that, because I don't think, man, that's how you feel about
the segue to what I got going on.
My push-up alarm.
Hey.
So I can
you got to do it right now.
Also be clear, this stuff manifested When we got together, it was under one concern. It was under the terms and condition of being successful. So none of this shit been luck. It may have came unorthodox, but every single day the conversations that we have been centered around that.
So would you rather have, because a big stepping was a slow build. Can we agree on that?
For sure.
Would you rather have a slow build or a viral hit?
No, I would rather have a slow build.
Educate why.
A viral hit, it's like saying, would you rather hit the lottery or would you rather slowly gain your way to make $100 million? Right. When you hit the lottery, you don't know how to keep and sustain your money. Literally. You just lucked up and got some bread. Now you're gonna spend it, and you're not knowing how to manage it. If you become $100 millionaire and you didn't make that money, you're still broke because you don't know how to make that money. Exactly. I'd rather learn how to do it, go through the whole process, because going through this process, I learned not only so much about my the music industry, but about myself. That I got the fortitude to keep pushing. Even on a bad day, I'm still big stepping. It done been days I was depressed, where I was broke, where I didn't know, I done got into arguments, and I'm just like, I still got to hit my big stepping. You know what I'm saying? And that was big for me, and it built me up to be like, I could do this with anything. You know what I'm saying? Not just music. So I would have loved give me this, give me how life is going over anything else.
That's a real. You know that's a real. That's a real.
You know
that's a real.
Come on, man.
That's a real.
That's a real.
Else, that's definitely a real. So look,
I'll take the stairs rather than the elevator.
Yep.
Do you think you're willing to put a year into a whole nother record? I'm a whole year.
So what I'm gonna do now is, and I ain't really talked to many people about it. I kind of told Ace and my team about it, but it's like instead of just counting the days, I've been silently just posting a song every day. So people ain't been seeing it, but I've been posting outside every day since June 1st. What is it, June
21st?
June 21st. Every time I go somewhere now, they be like, bro, perform outside. Perform outside. Come on. Are you not performing outside? Before that, I posted from, I think, May 1st all the way to June 1st. I posted Roll With It. Now, everywhere I go outside, the DJ, when I'm leaving, like we went to District 6 with Anthony Presents. Marcus Lee, shout out to everybody that was involved in that. Soon as they played the Warriors Big Steppin', right after that, he played Roll With It. And I'm like, okay, yeah, how you get this? And he's like, oh, yeah, I got to get some more records. It's just that introduction of it and me staying on it. So now I got the formula. I can introduce it subtly. You know what I'm saying?
I like that. Yeah. What's your thoughts? Like, what is Gunna's marketing campaign for Gunna's career right now? What is Gunna, and is Gunna...
Right now, I'm taking an unorthodox approach because of the shadow ban. I noticed it was two other artists other than me that I had a conversation with, and their platforms weren't shadow banned, and I seen where they went. So instead of me internalizing and blaming other people, I went back to the drawing board, and I'm going to unveil a whole campaign that has outside entities, because it's not a talent issue with me. It's not a I gotta get better. Damn me spitting with a unshadow band platform or even Blue Clutch, and I feel like I would have been out of here. I'd be a household name right now. So instead of me getting depressed about it or being deterred, is go back to the drawing board as a businessman and say, what are your options? How much money do you need to invest? How many credit cards do you need to use? How many people do you need to contact? Because what people don't understand is the music business is about investing in you gaining, in a record, gaining awareness. A music video is actually a commercial. That's what people don't understand. Yeah. And that commercial is supposed to lead them to purchase the record. So me being an artist, being a CEO, me being an owner of my own shit, it's still about breaking a record and then busting this shit open. So I approach it the same way Berry Gordy did with Motown and Birdman and Slim did with Cash Money. They didn't blow up overnight, but when they got on, it was no turning back.
All right, let's get into something else, because I got a bunch of questions. We almost an hour in, but I'm sorry. I just miss talking to y'all.
Man, we out here as hot as fuck.
So we all was out there. We was all out there protesting in 2020. We were all out there protesting. And I'm asking you guys. Yeah, the fans great. I'm asking you guys.
Shout out to Samuel.
As somebody, as an activist, does the audience allow you to be both? Meaning, is the audience going to respect somebody that's also an activist and trying to be an artist, or does the audience kind of try to do audiences place you in certain boxes and you have to work to get out those boxes?
Nah, my transparency, if you look at me on social media, I go out of my way to be like not politically correct. Now, if I was to paint myself as a politician, I would be fucked up right now. But you're not gonna do that with me. During protests, it was times where you would go on IG my story and you would see me, nigga, at a dice game. That's what it is. You didn't see you saw me use a different. I expanded my vocabulary, but then I was still able to keep it relatable with a follow-up post. So with me, I learned a lot from Pop, bro. And you're not gonna put me in this, I gotta do this, and when I talk, I'm speaking for all black people, and every time I open nah. I'm a strong man. I happen to be a strong black man, and they receive me the way they receive me because go listen to my music. For every political song, we got some gangster shit. We got some love songs. We got some party songs. We got all that. So my music and political activism, they know it goes hand in hand, and you're not going to separate me. Just like when I'm on stage. I'm going to tell you niggas, hey, man, make sure you take care of them kids and don't be a deadbeat father. Thanks. And let's go to the strip club.
Multifaceted. When we was going through that period of time of heavily protesting, when they used to call us an activist, I'd be like, don't put that label on me because I'm not an activist. I just stepped up when my name was called. And when my name was called, I did what I felt like anybody should do for their people. You know what I'm saying? Who you label with, you know what I'm saying? Or who you really function with. So when it come down to that, that's it. It's just like, why not exhaust all the talents we've been gifted with? And
I'm calling bullshit on both of y'all.
Hold on. Let me say one more thing. Hold on. And I can't say, though, since speaking out, though, the respect, the love, the admiration has been deeper than any song that I've ever made. The doors that have been open, a lot of them have been also because we love what you or y'all have done outside of it. I'm going to keep it a buck with you, bro. Like, mountains has been moved because of that.
Absolutely. Now, although I hear what y'all saying, I'm speaking as somebody who pay attention to audiences all the time. Audiences absolutely will put you in a box. An audience will absolutely put you in a box. And when they do that, they going to be like, and even if they don't say it out loud, they'll look at you like, how you going to be saying this or doing this, but they ain't going to be talking about this too. Audiences do put you in a box, and it happens. But the reason why I brought that up, y'all did a good job of getting yourself out that box and still having that same respect. Not everybody does that though. Not everybody can get arrested on a Bay Bridge and then be big stepping like a motherfucker.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? That's talking about big 4-5 look like I'm bench pressing.
Well, that's,
so yeah, you niggas is full of shit.
Well, that song right there.
Y'all are in the Bay, but they put you in boxes like a
birthplace of the Panthers. I'm gonna get it understood.
I feel like a lot of the way we get out of a box is using the Trojan horse. You know, we telling you, we got these trigger words in our music. We telling you life experiences and everything, but it's not like that song isn't about police brutality. It's not like we're not exposing real things. So, and at the end of the day, it's not like, yeah, I'm talking about 4-5 on me, look like I'm bench pressing. It's not like I'm not promoting working out. So it's like, you feel me? So when it come on, you know what I mean? So at the end of I literally say on the song, yeah, I got the blicky, but I'm not a thug. Hey, yeah, I'm locked in, but I'm not a plug. I'm treating everybody equal. I'm not above, but I'm going to get to condescending if you doubt my buzz. Hey, I treat him like my blood, but he just my, you know, so we talking about our real life experiences, but we're saying even though this is the lifestyle we're living, this doesn't mean that, feel me, we're not this.
And they try, but I don't feel it. I would say I just don't feel
so
it.
Politically correct. Basically saying I love my black people, but if one of you niggas tried me,
for sure,
I would blow your motherfucking head off.
And that's how it should be.
That's what you were saying.
Hey,
that's
David
how it should
Banner
be.
Said he walks around with 2 Desert Eagles on him because he said, and this is very controversial. He asked a very polarizing question. He said, "Did Martin Luther King and Malcolm X finish their visions?" No. The reason why is because they had all good intentions, but they died. They got killed. And it was like, he's like, I'm put on this earth to do something very valuable, but if I get killed, if I die, I lose. So it's at the end of the day where it's like, I'm definitely pushing peace. I'm definitely pushing positivity, the real type of pushing peace. But at the end of the day, if I stop living, nobody can be Stunnaman02, Jordan Gomes. You know what I mean?
That's real. That's definitely real.
Same way nobody can be C. Lee, Samuel, or Gunna.
Yeah. And they tried, like I said, especially with me, you know, I'm extremely outspoken. They tried, but it just don't work because you see what I am online. You see what I am in real life, and people know who I am. So it's like it's intentional with me, the entertainer and the informer. I'm gonna inform you and drop some jewels on you, but like I said, it might be a dice game.
So I guess another question I wanted to ask: were y'all intentionally doing certain things to not get boxed in?
I think we kind of just was living. I'm gonna keep it real.
Oh, you're so full of so much.
Man, I'm keep it real.
Oh, I talked to this nigga offline. He's lying. Man, oh, this nigga's lying so bad. But go ahead.
Shout out to Jamal True Love. I know he has.
I know because first of all, I know you niggas outside of the internet in this interview. you niggas knew what was happening during that time, and y'all said, look, this is great, and I am about this, but I see what is happening right now.
Oh, yeah, it was some weird shit. It was some
a
weird
lot of weird shit, and then y'all had to make different moves. Like, I see what the police is doing. I see what the people are trying to do. And y'all made certain calculated moves, and now y'all got big stepping on Summer Jam July 9th. Nigga, that wasn't no accident. Nigga, you niggas did. That was y'all
just pivoted.
Y'all pivoted, but y'all still, let's not make it seem like y'all not activists. Well, active, because y'all still very active, but y'all made sure like we can be both. And that's why I brought it up, because y'all did both.
Stunnaman02, clarifying for sure. Jamal True Love Stunnaman02 was the first. They was basically saying, hey, bro, we in too deep, and they finna try to, like, really do what you talking about, label us and just strip us of our identity and our uniqueness, and they're gonna put us in this activist,
man, well, I'm about to get deeper because, hold on, I'm sorry to cut you off, Gunna, but let me get deep real quick, because a lot of people, like I said on the Lil Blood podcast, don't know about the list, meaning y'all could have got so deep that y'all could have been blacklisted from performing. Meaning anytime your name or your face was on a flyer, that would have been cut, which would have shorted you thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. But you did a good job with your music and your overall brand. Both of y'all did to where that didn't happen, and now y'all got Summer Jam July 9th. So all who don't know, in the Bay Area, if you get put on the list, your ass can't perform. Anytime your name is on something, police shut it down. Y'all did a good job of pivoting from that, but still being active. So you have to be calculated when you're doing certain things, because blackballing from the actual law enforcement is real.
It is.
It's a very real thing, and y'all did a great job of not getting put so far in that box that it would have affected your livelihood to the point where you couldn't earn from what y'all love to do, which is making music.
You're absolutely right.
For sure. I agree with that 1,000%.
For sure.
I'm happy that I know we stayed in the studio, so this is another thing. A lot of the music that y'all hear was made during that.
Fact.
I chose not to put out music because I said I'm not going to perform in front of anybody while I'm protesting. My mind frame was somewhere totally different. Don't even come at me about no music. People would see me in public and try to talk to me about music when bro, that's not what I'm on. Makes sense. Was at one point in time, I remember Millie, he took a break just in general, and then Stunner was like, yeah, bro, like we got to focus on the music. We got to, because the movement was no longer on day one of the movement towards where it was as far as Black Lives Matter. That's not what we signed up. But I know that's not what we signed up for.
Yeah,
it was
they started doing electric slide and protests and shit.
A lot of different stuff.
It was a lot of weird
and I was done with it. Once I seen, it's not for black people.
It was more performative.
Some of them was real. Some of them was real, but then some of them started becoming more a clout move. And it was like,
and I said, I'm done with it. And I believe that's when Fillmore was created. I Gotta Feel It, 21 Summers. All of this stuff was created during that time. And we had conversations about this. We always go back to the Netherlands. When we was in Amsterdam, we had a conversation about making music that was going to be more digestible for the people. And that shit was created. It's still being created. And you can't put us in a box.
You listen to Fuck the Other Side off the I Gotta Feel It project, same project Big Steppin' is on. That was created with the heartbeat of what happened in the movement.
We've done a lot of shit, huh?
Hell yeah.
A lot of shit.
Congratulations, bro. We did a lot of shit.
So, let's talk. I'm going to get a couple in because we've been an hour. This is a great conversation.
It's cool. And what's up with you, bro? This going to be our interview, bro. If you don't start talking, bro.
Yeah. I think Gunna was trying to blacklist you because you got the LA hat.
Yeah, he's trying to make sure I get shadow banned on this.
Nah. We like. What is Summer Jam? July 16th.
July 16th.
I didn't say July 9th. Like, I thought it was July 9th.
Nah, July 16th.
My bad, it's July 16th. My bad, I'm fucking up.
Yeah, you good.
Nah, bro, one thing I really
put it
want
in
to
description.
Nah, for sure. Yeah, of course. One thing I really want to talk about is generational wealth / generational curses, though. That's the thing. Because I feel like it's cool, if we have it. But, let's say I'm building this shit for my kids, right? Because that's, if you think about it, I do my research, and most businesses, they start off with some type of capital. They start off with some type of something, bro.
A small loan of $1 million.
Literally. Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to tell you, where it's like, it's important to, put up this knowledge, put up the resources too.
Facts.
So like, because I know you guys are actually doing it right now, right? Yeah. So how much do you focus on setting yourself up for
it's a lifetime thing. I know one of my generational curses was I'm the first generation not only to go to college and finish college, but also the first generation not to be on drugs or be a victim of alcoholism. You know what I'm saying? My uncle died from an overdose of cocaine. Feel me? My grandfather passed away from cancer, but he was a heroin addict. Before that, my great-grandmother and my great-grandfather were alcoholics, and generations before that. So, you know, that's why really a reason why I might indulge in alcohol every once in a while. I might be inebriated, but I don't really smoke or drink like that. You feel me? I mean, I had my period of smoking, so that's a generational curse broken. With that, redirecting and focusing on how can we create that generational wealth, which is not just money, but currency. I mean, energy is currency as well. Yeah. Having this appropriate knowledge and using the mental health, like we was talking about earlier, to further our generation and understand, or to make it so where the same mental health things that my mom or my grandmother may have went through, you don't have to turn to alcohol. My mom's not an alcoholic, by the way. You know what I'm saying? But you don't have to turn to certain things to deal with it. Versus like, okay, let's figure out these healthy coping mechanisms, working out, and, you know, reading, you know, getting into music, you know, figuring that out. You know what I'm saying?
Let me put a sidebar since we speaking of mental health. I just got to say this because God put this on my heart to say. We are in the entertainment industry, so our job as entertainers and influencers is to entertain people. But you can get so caught up in trying to get validated by people that you lose yourself. I'm so busy trying to make you happy, you smile, you laugh at you, that I am losing myself, my inner confidence, my inner peace, my inner happiness, because I'm so busy trying to, you don't know how to turn that off, because when you're not entertaining, you're trying to figure out a way to entertain the next move. Because in this shit, you always got to be thinking about the next move. So in this shit, it's important that you be like, fuck that. Like me and Rem got this saying, FTP, fuck these people. Not because we saying fuck these people, but sometimes you got to be like, fuck these people. It's about me. Shirts coming soon. Fuck these people. Shirts coming soon.
And shout out to the people that allow us to have safe spaces, because I've been talking about that since MySpace being. And I say it because I've been saying it. I used to always stay around my partners because I didn't want to be objectified. I would go places, bro, and they want you to rap at the drop of a dime. They want you to just do a lot of, to me, it's kind of like almost like circus shit. And I never been with that. Even when I go to family gatherings, they'll try to turn on the music. Occasionally it's cool, but like, understand that if you always being objectified, when you go around your family and friends, the least that people could do is treat you
human.
Like humanize you. Shout out to Marshawn Lynch. That's why he go out of his way to say the things that he do, and he carry himself the way he is, because as he said, you not finna turn me into like a cartoon. You're not finna make me act. And that's why he keeps it more than real. So now it's to the point to where you come up to him, you already know not to do no weird shit, no fake shit, because it's getting shut down instantly. He didn't allow you to objectify him. And oftentimes y'all see us on this side of the camera, and you think that Sealy doesn't have a real life. Stunnaman02 doesn't have a real life. Gunna Goes Global doesn't have a real life. Eminem talked about it. He said he couldn't even take a shit without somebody standing by it. And people do that. You will see somebody out with their kids. You will see somebody out with their woman, whatever the case may be. And the first thing y'all doing, bro, is coming to putting the phone in somebody's face with the flash and all that. You got to chill. The support is appreciated, but the humanization is appreciated even more. And that's a huge part of our mental health.
That's a real,
for sure.
That's a real.
No, for sure.
That's a real. That was a good one. That was definitely a good one.
I think it's a negative connotation on being self-centered too. And I feel like some people use it in the wrong way. I like us because I know I got to get to know you more, Samuel, but me, Sealy, and Gunna, to a degree, we are self-centered, not in the fact that we overly selfish or don't want to see people succeed or none of that BS, but more so like we got to get ourselves right so we can be able to be our best to deal with other people. It's like this. Say this is Gunna's glass and this is my glass. You know what I'm saying? If Gunna constantly was pouring into me and didn't have a way to refill or didn't have anything empty, now I got some water to drink and he don't. And I'm like, hey, let me get some more water, bro. Like, nah, bro, I got to make sure if my cup is not overflowing, I at least got a well. Let's get the well first, and then once we got the well, you can get whatever you want. You know what I'm saying?
That's real. That's good information.
And that's a segue to what Sealy has always talked about in the Bay Area. People, like, allow a person to get in position first, develop first, before y'all so quick to tear them down, or y'all want to take everything from them, bro. The boat hasn't been built.
We ain't even set yet.
It ain't even been painted. And here you come with a handout. Can I get this for free? Can I get this? Can you be here? Can you won't pay me? You don't want to pay me. Then you want to lowball me. But then it's a lack of appreciation. But in the Bay, let things flourish. So then as these things have grown, now I can't. C. Lee now has BET. Guess what? He can hire you, put you on payroll, and give you Medi-Cal and benefits. Guess what? Stunnaman is fully evolved. You could be at the you could be selling O2 juice, and a lot of y'all don't be humble. Y'all want to start it. Y'all want to be bigger than the people that's helping y'all. Y'all don't even come in with humility. Y'all not willing to pick up nobody backpack. Y'all not willing to drive nobody around. But yet and still, you the first one to want to be in the camera, shining and all that. Y'all can't do that, bro. And when you go to LA, they got a chain of command. When you go to Atlanta, they got structure, and the same thing in New York and in the Bay, yeah, and in prison too. So in the Bay, man, it ain't nothing wrong with saying, okay, let's be the Warriors. Can you be Draymond Green? Can you do the dirty work? Can you be Clay, my nigga? Can you make these big shots when I'm off a little bit? You want to be Curry, but you don't want to be selfious like Curry. So it ain't gonna work, bro.
That's a real.
You feel me?
That's another real. That's another real.
You know what I'm saying?
That's another real. Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up soon, but I want to just piggyback off what Gunna said. I really do pray for everybody within the entertainment industry of the Bay Area, because this is not a guaranteed job. This is not a guaranteed thing. This is not guaranteed money. This is not a guarantee. You can work your ass off and still just not get to where you think you want to be. And this takes a lot of time too. You might give up your whole 20s or your whole 30s trying to get to where you need to be, and you may not make any money in it, and that can be depressing. You will be broke as a motherfucker. You can be struggling, your anxiety. You won't have a lot of pressure from your family. What about this? What about this? Before I got to where I am today, my mama and my family, shit, the fire department hiring, or this, you know, they hiring.
I love you, moms. I love you.
Here, you gonna get that a lot. And if I would have buckled to it, I would have never been who I am today.
Moms was on my line about getting SSI for the eye patch. You could get some money for the eye patch. I'm telling you, I'm like, what? Like, come on, bro.
I just pray for everybody within this industry, because then on the other side, it's a lot of people who was in this shit and that's flat ass broke now. Man. That's a reality. Like, there is no retirement. I just talked to Lil Blood about this like a few weeks ago. He was like, "Celie, I got to do other shit because there is no retirement in this shit. And I still have a child to feed. I still have, a home to pay for. I still got things to take care of." So I just want to pray for everybody in this shit, that you find your way, that you don't lose yourself to a lifestyle of criminality, that you not, out here just doing anything to get a check or attention, because I don't want you to get desperate, because we see that too. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to pray everybody find their way in this shit, because it's a very, very risky game and a very time-consuming game to be playing. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it just takes a lot out of you. So if anything, like, make sure you get you some prayer in your life. And that's all I can say on that, because every route is different. It's not one route to success. Every route is different.
I think you was talking about that off camera, where it's like, these people are so super talented, but why didn't they become a superstar, or why didn't they go to that next level? Because in this industry is a whole bunch of elements other than talent.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. What's up? What questions you got for us, man? I'm gonna stay on your line, man. What's in the phone? Come on, man.
Take it home.
Come on, take this shit on,
man. Nah,
at least 3 of them. Come on, man.
Nah, I've been reading this book, and it kind of ties into everything, because I think when you're that entrepreneur, when you're someone on the grind, it's hard to take a seat to the right a little bit, to the passenger, and be like, all right, let me live my life. Kind of like what you were saying earlier, where you were like, you know what? I was kind of just doing what everyone was saying. I wasn't paying attention to what I needed and what I wanted. And I think, like I said, as an entrepreneur, like you said, because of the unknown, because you know that the number one reason why people go to therapy, Gunna, is because they're scared of the unknown.
Oh, I thought it was because they seen the shit I was doing. Nah, I'm playing. I'm just playing.
But you know what I'm saying? It's because they're scared of the unknown. Because, like, I feel like that's just how human beings are. But as an artist, as an entrepreneur,
is that like anxiety?
What, like people
scared of the unknown?
I mean, I'm sure it could tie in there, but I think
spirituality.
It's just
I'm big on shout out to everybody out there, man. A huge part of who I am, how I can wake up, put an eye patch on, not be deterred, not care about none of the shit that I've been through as far as like the trauma and stuff, man. It's just God's spirituality and really believing in that. None of us are perfect. Again, you got depression, deal with it. Please don't pick up no gun and kill yourself. Don't kill the woman that you with and then kill yourself. Don't kill the children in yourself, because unfortunately these are popular things that's going on. We're gonna touch on domestic violence, brother, man. If you got a problem with that woman, walk out, leave. It's like 3.5 billion other women on the planet. Do not kill this woman. Absolutely. Y'all out here doing that, ain't respecting none of that, bro. Do not do the murder, suicides. Call the hotline number. Get you some help. It's going on in our communities. Don't be beating these women for being attractive. You like attractive women. You're going to have to be able to deal with it. She's sexy. She got this, whatever the case may be. Don't beat on that woman. Don't kill that woman. Don't do none of that, man. And don't subject these kids to that, man. Don't be violating these women in front of these children. Better yet, you shouldn't be violating them, but respect these children, man, because they do grow up to be somebody, and you don't want them to grow up to be your killer. You feel me?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's great. Speaking of school shootings, I have an unpopular opinion on that. I think a lot of these school shooters are inspired by attention. Meaning,
that's a fact.
I want to be looked. I've been in the mirror wanting to be known and seen so bad for so long that I am willing to do anything to be seen. And we are in generation clout right now. I just seen a video of a young man pouring gas out at a gas station at a 7-Eleven talking about we waste this shit. And that let me know. It just confirmed everything I thought. We are in generation clout where these children, even the adults, will do anything to be seen.
Ain't they got a challenge?
I will say and do anything to be seen.
What's they licking the toilet bowls? They do all the type of weird stuff.
Like, please look at me. And that just come from generation clout. And I just want to encourage motherfuckers to really like get you some real confidence. Get you some real confidence. Like when you really love yourself and you have real confidence in certain things you just would never do to be seen. I don't, because I validate me. I don't need to be validated by anybody else or no likes or no views. So
how do we offset that? How do we offset that with children? Because me being a father of 6 beautiful children, how do you chill if they're equating success or happiness with likes, views, and streams? How do we let them know that it's a difference between messy, anchoring numbers and then genuine ones? Because 1 billion people can see a clown do something. That doesn't mean 1 billion people or even 1 million people are going to support him. I don't even got to speak on that artist who's not doing good. But now that everything streams are tallied in the sales, people are misconstruing it.
Absolutely.
You feel me?
I think you combat it by rewarding honor. I think we have to salute and praise honor. And I do that a lot on my page, just really highlighting honorable black men, because there's an attack on black men, whether niggas don't want to acknowledge it or not.
Yeah. We ain't gonna go too deep, but a shout out to the heterosexual black men out there, because recently it seemed like people kind of make it seem like we should be uncomfortable. And I don't got nothing towards any brother that's living however lifestyle that they want, but that doesn't mean that I should be ashamed or I need to feel bad about being who I am. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So
that's not what it is.
The thing is, we have to, everybody who believes in like positivity, anybody who believes in upstanding, honorable, you know, I ain't gonna even say black men, just people, highlight it. Use your platform to highlight somebody of honor rather than just everybody running to the messy shit, to the gossip shit, to the stupid shit. Highlight it. It don't take nothing but a repost.
I like that.
Salute and reward honor consistently, not just once a week, not on Sundays when you're feeling holy. Every time you see something honorable, highlight it. Okay. It's that simple. Reward honor. Highlight honor every time. Okay. And then that's how you combat it.
I will be doing that.
I also think that in my notes. Internal validation, validating yourself and not letting other people validate you. Intrinsic motivation, meaning you don't let something outside of you be your motivation or your reasoning as you doing something, and having a strong moral compass, understanding right from wrong. And essentially saying, okay, I'm not going to go this far on wrong to achieve something that I may want. But yeah, what Celie said, definitely essential. Got to highlight greatness. You know what I'm saying?
Let's reward honor. What else, brother?
I mean, that's pretty much it. Unless y'all want to say something.
Yeah, we good, man. You know, good episode.
Hey, man. Shout out to the block, man. Shout out to the hood, man. Shout out to the homies, man. Free the thugs, all that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm C-Legal for the people.
Samuel with the LA hat, baby. Hey, West Coast.
I got an SF hat, man. You feel me?
So yeah, that's today's episode.
Let's do it, man. Neighborhood Heroes, man. This the one right here. This is gonna spark a lot. Seriously, yeah, I've gotten a bunch of ideas throughout this whole thing, so it's going. Hell
yeah, we gotta edit a couple parts out though.
No,
we're gonna edit, and we're gonna edit a few things. We need that equity too, baby.
You know what I'm saying? Edit that out. Yeah, we're not even finna play like that.